Hey, this is Cindy and Destiny with Keep It Real podcast here on Out of the Box Sports, and we're here today with Yellow Man. So good to see you.
What's up, ladies? How y'all doing?
We're doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Off a good weekend of wrestling. You know how it is. It was a big wrestling week this week. We had WrestleCade out at Winston-Salem. All the legends and everybody got together. And then we did our thing up at Jimmy Valiant's wrestling camp on Sunday. So it was a good holiday week. How was it for you, ladies?
We had a good, busy, but good. Good. There's Adam Glenn saying, "What's up? Hey, what's up, Adam?"
What's up?
For people that do not know you, I know we've seen you, but a lot of people might not know what you do, who you are, what you're about. You want to tell people a little about yourself?
I'm Yellow Man. I come out of Jimmy Valiant's camp in Charlottesville, Virginia. I've been in the game of professional wrestling in the Mid-Atlantic area for about 13 years, traveling from, I've been as far up as Chicago and Pennsylvania. I've been as far down south as South Carolina. We're just trying to make them towns and, enjoy the business as much as I can. It's been one heck of a ride, though. It really has.
You have anything you were wanting to say? She said she had some questions for you, so I'm waiting to see if she's going to say anything. She said, "Not yet. Not yet." I know you keep busy. I see all the time. You're here and there and everywhere. What are some of the promotions that you work for?
Right now, NRLL, the Lucha company, they're just coming back, based out of Greensboro. I'm doing American Pro Wrestling, based out of West Virginia, the Bluefield and Beckley area. Some they go on live every Thursday up there. Mainly wrestling live from BWC out of Boogie's camp in Charlottesville, Virginia. I work some with Pure Pro Wrestling, and they do a lot. Premier Wrestling League, Jeff James and those guys, I work with them some, and just as many places that'll have me. I can put up with old Yellow Man.
Now, we know you said you do Lucha Libre. For people that don't know what Lucha Libre is, how does that differ from other wrestling styles?
Well, Lucha Libre is in the Mid-Atlantic a lot different than you would see it in like Mexico or something like that. The Mid-Atlantic Lucha Libre is kind of like the American style, but it's still backwards, if you know what I mean. Like in American Pro Wrestling, we do everything to the left side, and Lucha Libre Americana, we do it all to the right side. So it's a little backwards and confusing, but all you got to do is just go with the flow. It's a big dance,
So do you do a lot of high flying?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yellow Man is I'm in my 30s now. What's up, Kenny? I see him saying what's up. I don't do too much flying anymore. I've put on a few pounds, dad pounds, and I don't see myself getting on the top rope too much.
Hey, Eileen. I see Eileen checking in. How are you?
What's up? How you doing?
Yeah. Ken says, "What luchador did you look up to as a youngster?"
All day long, 619. Him, Eddie Guerrero, the late great Eddie. My favorite masked wrestler of all time is Tiger Mask, and I love Kane. Mm-hmm. That's more of an American style luchador, but Kane and Matanza, I could go on for days about Lucha Libre. I love me some Lucha. Even the Mid-Atlantic guys that I work with, like Alas the Angel and Chaco, the Panama, Red Dragon, man, all those guys, Gato, all of them.
So that you're mentioning all of them, what do you think about Dragon Lee coming in?
That's your next Rey Mysterio right there. He's exciting. Dude has charisma. He reminds me of the whole show Lucha Underground. Yeah, I loved Ultimo Dragon too. Ultimo was awesome. Those Japanese guys, man, I love all of that style.
I know. So that is the majority of the time you wrestle Lucha Libre.
Well, I do mid-Atlantic, old school style. You know, like American old school pro wrestling. You know how those.
You won't be disappointed. I agree.
Hey, what's up, Marty? I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So, I know you mentioned that Boogie trained you. How did you get introduced to him? I mean, I was always a fan when I was growing up watching him. How did you come across him for him to train you?
I actually known Jimmy Valiant my whole life. My great uncle, the Mask Enforcer, his name was Calvin Gregory, but he was the Mask Enforcer, and he trained with the legendary Eclipso, and they all came from Boogie's camp. And my whole life, ever since I could remember, Jimmy Valiant's been around. You know, he's like a father figure to me, and I told him I wanted to really get in and take it serious. And back then, when I got in, Boogie was a lot different than he is now. He's kind and a sweetheart, and he just opened the door to everybody. He was like that back then, but it was a lot tougher getting in back then, especially with the trainers and stuff. And Boogie was like, hey, if you could tough it out, you come up to the camp and we'll teach you what you need to know. It's gonna be a hard ride, but hey, if you don't give up, and you never know what'll happen.
Yeah, look at you now.
13 years later. Oh, my man Phoenix checking in. What's up, Phoenix? He's another one that comes out of Boogie's camp.
Paul Spencer said, why the name Yellow Man?
Oh, the name Yellow Man, that's actually an old my dad was a barber, and one of his brothers in a barbershop, his name was Yellow, because he looked like the DJ from NWA. And they always told me that I looked like my Uncle Yellow.
No.
So, when my first show, I didn't know what to do. They was like, what's your wrestling name? And I kind of panicked, and I was like, Yellow, that's what it is. And that's, hey, we stuck it out ever since. I even do the hip hop myself, so it kind of blends all in together.
Speaking of that, we're friends, and Destiny trains with a couple of wrestlers, and we heard their theme music, and I was like, who does their music? Oh my gosh, that is so good. I asked them, they were like, it's my brother. That's Yellow Man. Grappling Inc., Brox and Troy.
Hey, I love those guys, man. Anybody that comes out of that school, them Bobby Blaze kids, you know, they call us the Boogie kids. We call them the Bobby Blaze kids. And Miss Julian Hall, and man, they're in such good hands up there, and that's the place to be. If you're in that area, definitely check them out, man. I just love those guys, man. That's tag team wrestling right there. I love those guys.
Well, they love you too. I mean, they speak the world of you, so highly of you.
Those are my fellas right there, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where Destiny's training.
Hey, you're in good hands with them.
Yeah.
Good hands. Y'all need to come on down to Boogie's camp and bring old Bobby Blaze and him and old Boogie will get together and give everybody the game. We got ladies down there that you can work with. The great Sasaki, you know, that'd be some good stuff. You
That would.
bring Sarah Bubbles and everybody. Y'all come on down.
Hey, maybe could get something worked out. That does sound like a good time, don't it?
Oh, we jamming every Sunday. Every Sunday.
That'd be awesome. So why wrestling?
Why wrestling? It's all I know. Actually, I didn't like wrestling at first. I wanted to watch Batman. And and my grandpa Tick, I called him Pow Pow. He watched wrestling every Saturday. And if it didn't come on the TV, he had a VCR and he pop it in. And I want to watch Batman, and he was like, "No, man, that's kid stuff. This is the real life superheroes right here." And then he put on Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, and that was it.
Yeah.
That did it for me right there. They was the real life superheroes.
So would you say Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon? Is that who got your attention?
It was
Did you
Razor.
want to do it?
Razor was the coolest dude I ever seen in my life when I was a kid. I was like, man, this dude is like, I mean, I was too young to watch Scarface to realize what was going on. But to see, I was a big fan of hip hop, and to see him come out with all them gold chains and stuff on, and that was my culture. I was like, man, this is the coolest cat ever right here.
Yeah, Kim Fry said, yes, Batman. And
Yep,
Paul
yep.
Spencer says, what's your fondest wrestling moment in the ring?
Oh, I have so many of those. Anything I've ever done with Jimmy Val, I would have to say getting a chance to wrestle George South.
Man.
We did that last year around this time at Wrestling with Purpose. Those guys down there, Baron Bullard and Trey G, they do a lot of good benefit shows, and they take care of their talent. They I got a privilege to get to work with George South, and I mean that right there, man. George South to me is professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Guys like him and Bobby Blaze, and man, they've been all over the world. They wrestled everybody there ever was.
Love you, Bobby, if you're watching. Yeah, you brought up George South's name, and it just like took me back. I mean, he was an amazing. I mean, that was an honor, I'm sure, to be able to be in the ring with him.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Fry said, what is your least favorite match to do, and what is your favorite?
Well, anytime in the ring for me is a fun time. I don't really think I have a least favorite match. Maybe like I would have to say like somebody that's just way too big would probably be not as fun. But I like all kind of matches. My favorite match I would say would probably be like I like deathmatch wrestling, believe it or not. I think I don't do it often, and those guys get a lot of heat, but I really like deathmatch wrestling.
So you really like the hardcore stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross. I like that. It's rock and roll.
I think we have another mutual friend, Zayden Kane.
Oh, that's my brother right there.
Yeah, we love Zayden. I was like, I had seen you all post some of each other's stuff, and I was like, well, that's a coincidence. I didn't realize that you all were so close. But, yeah.
Oh yeah, we have a couple songs together. We got future projects together. You know, the Black Dragon Click. I think that's the new thing right there. Yeah, him, Chuck Chronic, all the fellas, man. I love them guys. The coach, man. That's Mickey Doom. That's the guys right there.
I'm excited to see that. I'm
Oh
really excited
yeah.
to see them. Um, do you have any other, I know, while we're talking about your music, do you have any other music projects coming up?
I actually have a album that me and Jimmy Valiant is working on. It's actually called Valiant.
Wow.
He's kind of like narrating it a little bit. He's featured on there a lot, you know. Uh, um, we're mainly just doing that album to try to put money back into the camp, because every year we have the Angel Valiant Scholarship where we pick a lucky student. We pay his $250 down payment fee, and then his first $20 camp fee, and he gets a T-shirt and all kind of camp goodies. And
Oh,
but
that's
that's the
awesome.
Angel Valiant Scholarship every year. Angel, she uh she's the sweetest lady ever, Boogie's wife, man. I love Mama Angel. And she does that for camp every year. So we always try to, do something to pitch in and help out wherever we can. So we're doing that album together to, maybe come up with other different little programs like that at camp.
Oh, that touches me to know that she's that involved. That
Oh,
she
yes.
supports him and all of you guys as well.
Oh, Mama Angel's the heart and soul of the camp. I love her to death. And she makes gear too. Man, if you could think it, she can make it. Like, she's best tailor I've ever seen. Like, Mama Angel does it all.
Well, if somebody wanted to get in touch with her if they needed gear, how would they do that?
Um, Boogie's is open every Sunday from 12 to 4, or you can go to Jimmy Valiant at Weebly.com, and you can get in contact with him like that, or you can message him personally on Facebook. Oh, I think Angels Wrestling Wear has their own website on Weebly as well, so you can get in contact with them, or you can hit up any of the students from camp, like me or any one of the guys there, and we'll get you in contact with Mama Angel. She'll hook you right on up.
Um, Paul Spencer says, "Do you ever wrestle in Pennsylvania? If so, ever near Pittsburgh?"
Actually got a chance to wrestle with the guys in Real Shoot Wrestling, Tim Cross and those fellas. Love them guys too, Billy Knox and them up there in Pennsylvania. I can't remember the name of the town, but I think it was New Kingston or something. It was close to Pittsburgh.
If somebody's watching and they want to book you in the area, how would they get a hold of you to do that?
Yellow Man on Facebook. You can also message my Instagram, as I think that's Yellow Man 26. So I'm not too good with the social media thing, but I'm always on Facebook, Yellow Man, or mascots, the number 4 life 1 at Gmail. You can hit me up on any of that. I'm easy to work with and get along with everybody. Yeah, that's a good thing about having Yellow Man on the roster.
So when is your next show coming up?
This Thursday, actually, I'll be in Beckley at the I think it's the VFW building up there. It's like a little fire department, Beckley and Bradley, where they kind of ended. But it's American Pro Wrestling. I'll be up there. They're doing their TV taping up there. They do that up there every Thursday. So yeah, that's good stuff coming in, and I do Boogie's Wrestling Camp just about every week too. So
if anybody wants, is there any other names that people might recognize that are going to be there Thursday?
The Cuban Assassin, he's a legend. He does a lot of work through West Virginia. Crash Cassidy, my main man. Lance Erickson back. Joe Brody, all them guys. They good peoples, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a good show. Good show. What is an admission?
Admission's free this Thursday.
Free admission.
Yep, free this Thursday, and then every week in December, I think it's $8.
You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. I mean, especially if you want to go see some good independent wrestling. I mean,
yeah.
Paul Spencer asks, speaking of music, I'm old school hip hop. Who's your favorite artist?
My favorite of all time got to be Eminem, but I like stuff like Wu-Tang, Big Pun, Big L. You know, shoot, you name it, Gangsta Nip. I like that Violent J and the ICP fellas.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Destiny? Who's your favorite hip hop? I think she likes 50 Cent.
Hey, 50 the man. Who's your favorite hip hop?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It'll forever and always be Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yeah.
Always.
My man Adam said Tupac.
Tupac.
That's all the good stuff, right? They don't make it like that no more.
I was going to ask you another question, or a couple more. Who would be your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I'll have to put my mentors on there. Jimmy Valiant, George South, and the Rock and Roll Express. But if I had to pick my favorites, like growing up as a kid, it'd probably be them plus Lance Storm and Eddie Guerrero.
I miss Eddie.
Yeah, I miss Eddie a lot.
There's so many that were so important to the wrestling business, that have just gone. It's really heartbreaking.
Like Bray Wyatt, man, that was a tough blow to the game right there, because that dude was I felt like he was just now like becoming the Bray that everybody deserved. You know, he was always fantastic. When Bray was on, everybody watched.
Yes, for sure. He was always so original and just himself.
Oh, yeah.
So creative. Kenny Fry said, I'm not a big hip hop guy, but love rock and rap collabs.
Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Yep. Eileen said, Kenny likes to get jiggy with it.
That's old school right there. That's that Will Smith vibe.
Hey, I like Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Fry, Bray was a huge loss. He was. I think we'll be feeling the effects of that one for a long time.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That you can't never heal that wound.
No, and it took so much with him. See, Paul Spencer says, if you were in WWE and you had one match, past and present, who would you choose to wrestle one time?
Anybody really. I just really want to have a tag team match with John Cena. Anybody in WWE would be fun to wrestle. They probably throw me around. Probably Cameron Grimes, though, because I knew Cameron Grimes when we used to do shows together in Eden. And, man, I always loved that guy. And he's younger than me, but I've always looked up to him in a business, man, because he's a true veteran, a locker room leader. So if I was ever in WWE, I would definitely want that match right there. Yellow Man versus Cameron Grimes.
And that's funny that he asked that question, because I was getting ready to ask you what your dream match would be, like even in the independent circuit. Is there someone you would like to wrestle that you haven't yet?
And the independent circuit, that's a tough one too. Maybe a one-on-one with George South. The last one was a tag match. I was like a one-on-one with either him or Ricky Morton, Ricky or Kerry, or that's somewhere around my range right there.
Yeah.
Or you could get me and Kerry teaming up against the Grappling Inc. That'd be a good one.
Ooh, yeah. You hear that? Grappling Inc. Rocks, if y'all are watching. Man, that would be a good one. See? Hashtag John Cena. Yellow Man said, let's go. One night, one time, let's make it happen.
Hey, you bring John to the Indies, man. We're gonna be the Chain Gang soldiers.
Well, what about Matt Riddle?
Matt Riddle. I feel like Matt Riddle, I think he need to go back to where he was. Because, man, that dude was just so good. I feel like he need to put some shoes on. Because I be worried about his feet getting hurt. And he be skateboarding. You know his feet rough. Like he playing daggone soccer in the gravels or something. That joker tough, man. But he's damn good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Damn good wrestler.
Yeah, you can't deny his talent, whether you love him or hate him. He's good. He's
Oh
good.
yeah.
So while we're on the topic of WWE, what do you think of War Games?
Oh, that was one of the best ones all year. I tell you, it didn't top the Puerto Rico joint, because the Puerto Rico I think was the best one all year. But man, War Games was really, really good. It was from top to bottom. Every match was solid. My man Santos Escobar, that dude, he's brought it.
Adam Glenn said Ken hates Riddle.
Oh yeah, Bad Bunny showed out. But yeah, from top to bottom, War Games was pretty good. I love the thing that Randy did with the RKO off the top. Yeah, he ain't lost it. He ain't lost it one bit.
What'd you think of Charlotte's moonsault off the top of the cage? I was like,
I think that girl has always been the best WWE superstar they've had.
Yeah.
As soon as they signed her, I was like, that's it right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is the queen. I mean, I was just like, it was like poetry in motion in the air. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. And it was not just because I'm a woman, but I thought that their War Games match, I thought it was better than any of the rest of it.
Man, them girls is outworking them men any day. I mean, they got something to prove now. They ain't just, back then, all the girls used to be just what everybody wanted to look at. And they just roll around and do the bra and panty stuff. Even if they did that now, them girls is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just eye candy no more. They're outworking them guys. And them guys having a hard time keeping up with them.
Yeah, I mean, little was it EO that jumped off in the trash can? Yeah. Blew my mind. I was like, no, she's gonna get hurt. She's gonna get hurt. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they definitely work. So what'd you think of CM Punk's return?
It's about time.
Yes. My thoughts exactly.
Everybody likes to say this and that about that man, but to be honest, if a couple of little incidents in the locker room drama was all it was, they haven't met their heroes.
Mm.
And their heroes were showing out before the internet. So if that's all it was, CM Punk getting into a couple arguments with people in the back, if that's what the problem is, Hey, I can live with that, man. I think that dude should have never left WWE. He should have stayed, got his money. He need to bring his wife back, and
Yes.
they need to come back and do the business, because I mean, whether people hate him or not, they don't know that man. They don't know what he was going through, and they probably would have did the same thing if they were in his shoes. You know what I mean? I don't know him personally. Always thought CM Punk was one hell of a wrestler. His match with Randy Orton at WrestleMania was the best match, one of them I've ever seen. You know, like the dude wrestled Undertaker at Mania. Who else can really say that?
Right.
You know, Punk. I mean, what everybody watching, everybody hate on it, but I guarantee you, everybody watching Raw.
Yeah. For sure. I've always liked him, always. And I think one of the things that I loved about him, not just that he was such a phenomenal wrestler, but that he was always himself. You know what I mean? It was like you would see him on interviews or see him in the ring. It seemed like he didn't conform. Like he was always true to himself.
That's one thing I respect about him. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, what's up, Dave? Like I said, I don't know the guy personally, so I can't judge him based on what everybody says about him. But I thought he was always entertaining. He was always true to the game. He said he was straight edge. He believed in what he believed in, and he wasn't afraid to be himself. That's what he said. He was the best in the world, and when he went out there and he was the best in the world. Now, did I care when he left the first time? Nah, because we had Seth Rollins. But I'm glad he back.
Yeah, and Paul Spencer says WWE or AEW. But before you answer that, you mentioned Seth Rollins. Have you seen the explosion between that Seth Rollins had when he saw CM Punk come back? Ooh, he's heated. He's so mad. He does not want him back there. Now, I don't know if it's, real stuff happening there but.
Well, if it's real stuff, because I know there was rumors going around that they didn't really like each other. But I hope if that's true, these guys can put that to the side, because I would love to see that at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
like
that's
I said, man, that's money.
Yeah. That's what Triple H was saying in the press conference. Love him or hate him, it's what the fans want. So, that's what they're going to get. So, yeah, back to Paul's question. WWE or AEW?
I've always been a Vince McMahon fella, always. I've always loved WWE's product. AEW is, I would love to get a job there. Don't get me wrong. I would never bash one of the top companies that I would like to work with one day. But I will always have to say WWE's product, no matter who really comes out, will be superior, because whether it's good or bad, they have so much structure and they have highly trained athletes. And sometimes at AEW, I kind of see it's like a circus going on where the boys run the court, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be structure. And I see it going off the rail a little bit in AEW. It's kind of reminding me of WCW in a way. And that ain't a good thing,
Yeah.
But as far as the superior brand, TNA had the top roster and the most originality out of any other wrestling company that ever competed against WWE. And they couldn't beat them. So I don't think that's even really a competition. I think they have the world's best wrestlers on what they do. You know what I mean? But I think WWE is always the A-list brand, always. And that's just business.
It is.
Wrestling is wrestling to me. I love it all.
I'm with you on that one. Dave Yarnell said that just sets up mania between Punk and Seth.
I hope
Is there
so.
heat? And then Paul Spencer, I hope it happens. WrestleMania, Seth versus Punk. I have 2 tickets, 16 rows from the ring and right off the ramp as they come down.
That's what's up. You're
Yeah.
gonna have fun. You're gonna have mad fun. That's too many people for me. I got Peacock Network.
That's yep. That's us. That's us. But back to that being too many people. Independent wrestling. That's one thing that I love to do on here is just give it such a push because to me there is something so special about independent wrestling. I mean, when you go to them regularly, especially, you almost get to feel like family. You get to know the wrestlers. We get to know you guys, have relationship with you guys, and talk to you. I mean, to me, it's just something special. And I'll say, when you go out to see you guys, it's like you give your everything. And I'll say that every time. And what is your take on that? On more wrestling in the more independent circuit?
Independence will always be home for me, regardless if I ever went to the big stages or not, because I believe professional wrestling is just that. There's always going to be professional wrestling, but at independent professional wrestling is more home, and because of what you said, it's family friendly. Like I come up from a rough background, so I didn't get the love at home. Like, it was tough love. I got love, but it was tough love, man. And wrestling is a different kind of love, man. You could be anybody you want to, and there's a place for everybody. And there's nothing like independent professional wrestling. Anywhere in the world, you go to an independent professional wrestling show, whether they call it a mud show or a big super indie show, them guys are gonna leave it all out there, and you're gonna get what you paid for every time. Oh,
Robert Smith. Ask Yella about what's it say? NRLL in Gastonia. So what about that?
that was independent lucha right there, man. It was so many people. They had a big Hispanic festival out there for the community, and everybody came out. It was like a couple thousand people out there, and man, it was so packed. We're trying to move through the crowd to get the ring set up. And so we finally get it up and come out there. We're pushing through people, and me and my man Phoenix, we're trying to watch each other's back. These guys are around the ring patting. Like, the main event got canceled because it was so many people. Everybody was trying to attack the wrestlers. It was wild. It was the wildest thing I've ever been involved with.
Where was that? Where were you off of that?
Gastonia, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Wow. So you all were like competing with like the AEW.
That's what it felt like. It felt like an old school ECW environment.
Oh, wow. They're completely off the hook, just like
off the hook, no security. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen.
You all were your own security, right?
We had to be. Like I said, they got the main event got canceled because during our match there was fans climbing on the turnbuckle. It was crazy. It was wild. Like,
Paul Spencer says, "What's your favorite move, old school or new school?"
Oh, the boogie woogie elbow drop all day long. All day long. Papa Boogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, he put it down. He come out there, do all that dancing, kiss everybody in the whole crowd. Block a punch, give you a big one. Boogie woogie hit the elbow drop, and it was over with.
What's your finisher?
I do a modified type of STO. It's called the Street Sweeper. I tell everybody all the time my finisher was what the end of the match. I'm old school. You never know what's gonna happen. But it's an STO. I call it the Street Sweeper. Give it a little hip hop vibe or something.
Yeah. Destiny, did you remember what you were wanting to ask?
How do you feel about the biggest return of the night, R-Truth?
Man, that's the heavyweight champion right there. R-Truth, man. If that guy ain't in the Hall of Fame, something ain't right. He is probably, every time he is on, he is the best segment every time. And he does the little goofy comedy stuff. But R-Truth, man, is probably one of the best legends on their roster. In-ring performer, and you name it. R-Truth can do it. And he got good hip-hop music, too.
Yeah, I was listening to some of his clips that he had out there. And I was like, what? I didn't realize that he did all that.
Oh, yeah, he got a song with Jimmy Valiant's son, Handsome.
Really?
Yeah, my big brother, Handsome. R-Truth and him, they got a track together. Yeah.
What's it called? How would you look that up?
You would have to look it up on Handsome. I think it's Handsome Jimmy or something on YouTube like that. But just type in R-Truth. That's how I found it. I got one of the CDs from Papa at camp.
Remember that. And Destiny had another question for you, but I guess she's not going to ask you. Do you have any advice for people that are training to become a wrestler, that are in active training, especially female wrestlers?
Female wrestlers, first and foremost, be safe. Be safe. Watch yourself. Listen to your mentors. Don't trust everybody. If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. And just because it sounds good, it don't mean it's good. Just watch yourself. It's a lot more gritty. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a lot rougher on females to be a wrestler than it is males. You know, it was a male game for a very long time. The ladies are really killing it right now, so we in trouble. But I would just say definitely listen to your mentor. Everything he says, even if you don't think it makes sense, because it's always light at the end of the tunnel when they telling you that for a reason. And if somebody takes the time to work with you and really give you the business, that's your best friend in this business. I'm telling you, because not everybody, it's a selfish business. Very selfish. And not everybody is your friend.
Thank you. That's good advice. Would you, and like, you want to give Jimmy Valiant's school information again? So if anybody's out there in your area.
Oh yeah, we're located in Shawsville, Virginia. We're open every Sunday, 52 weeks a year from 12 to 4 every Sunday. Hey, we get there at 11. Now we got a new time. It's 11 to about 4:30. Catch all of us hanging out there. It's in Shawsville. You can look us up on Facebook, Wrestling Live from BWC. That's actually my show that we produce every Sunday on YouTube. We got that. It comes on every Sunday at 10. Wrestling Live from BWC. And we just jamming, man. We're out there, and all the students, Big Mike and Sean Christian, our instructors, and Koga, and we got some of the best trainers in the world. And ain't no other place like Jimmy Valiant's Wrestling Camp. If you in the area, Roanoke, Salem, Christiansburg, anywhere in Virginia, anywhere in the Mid-Atlantic, you welcome to come. We got students from all over the world.
Paul Spencer said, Yellow Man, I tell you, you're very humble, always paying it forward and never forgetting who got you there.
Hey, I appreciate that. I really do, man. I mean, when somebody give you the game, you know, you gotta stay humble. You gotta be grateful because they didn't have to do that for you. And when Boogie and the Rock and Roll Express and George and them guys gave it to me, you know, I even got Mid-Atlantic legends like Jimmy Love and Robert Stanley and, you know what I mean, Matt Houston, those guys, they gave me the game. And I'm forever in debt because, you know, I could have been out here in the streets doing other stuff, you know, like drug dealing or something like that. But they took me away from that lifestyle. And I'm forever in debt, and I'm forever grateful for all of those guys that ever gave me an opportunity and a platform to perform and do my thing out there.
And Paul Spencer said, I think next time we need to hear Yellow Man drop some bars live for us on Out of the Box Sports.
Hey, I got you, brother. Hey, check it out. We got the Valiant album coming soon. We got Yellow Man on YouTube, too. You can check out all those. I got a couple freestyles. One of them with Jimmy Valiant.
Nice. Yes. Man, thank you so much for coming on with us today. It's an honor. Keep doing what you do. Keep us updated on where you're going to be so we can get the word out for you. And you guys go check out Yellow Man. Look for where he's going to be. Look for his flyers. Check his wrestling out and check out his music. And don't forget, check out Jimmy Valiant also. And thank you guys so much. Until next time, keep it real. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you, ladies. Keep it real.
Yes, keep it real.